sunshine, rocking the good time with all our friends. Easy and carefree, out in the summer breeze, loving a simple things for hours on end. Right about sundown, we lay on the ground, count on the stars as they come out one at a time. Ain't this a sweet life?
Hey everybody, I'm X Factor winner Tate Stevens, and welcome to the Sweet Life Podcast, where we talk about everything from music, sports, food, entertainment, and, well, just living the sweet life. Hey everybody, it's me, Tate Stevens, along with AJ Kronk.
Yeah, man.
Season 3, AJ.
Yeah.
We're starting it off, you know what? We season 1 and 2 are great.
Yeah.
I listened to them back. Fast forward through some parts that I didn't want to hear myself talk about, but I listened to it back. I thought they were good. We're gonna start pulling some of those up too, and put them back out. Like, hey, go check out season 1's episode 3 or whatever, season 2 episode 7. Whatever it is, so people can maybe dig on some of that stuff too. Season 3, pretty excited about. Kicking it off with a big topic. The big topic.
The topic.
The only topic that we can basically talk about right now.
Yeah.
COVID-19 and just the whole, why it sucks for everybody. Yeah.
It sucks.
Absolutely.
That's my favorite sound effect.
That is so good. All right. We all know that COVID-19 sucks. We all know that. It's, pretty much when it first came out, it was kind of like, what is this? It's just another flu. It's just another cold. It's just this. We all heard what the media was pushing. And then came, all the death tolls. And then I remember my wife, this is right when was that? Was it September, October of 19 when it was really kind of picking up and things were, that was when the deaths, maybe even before, a little bit before that, June, July.
I was going to say, it really kind of started to pick up beginning of the year, like March, April, May, somewhere around there.
Right, but like right when it was out and it was where they were basically showing all these tractor trailers full of dead bodies in New York and all this stuff on TV or on the news and all these different news outlets and things like that. My wife was freaked out.
Yeah.
And I guess for whatever reason I wasn't. I just kind of was like, yeah, I get it, but COVID's been around for 100 years. So what makes this any different? It's the flu.
Yeah.
That's what COVID is. It's a common cold or flu, right?
Yeah.
But this strain or strand or whatever you want to call it is different. It's highly aggressive, highly mobile, between people, and we pass it easily. So I don't know, for whatever reason, maybe it's just me being dumb or me being, stubborn. I'm like, I don't buy it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Election year.
Yep. Yeah, because it seemed like every time there's something going on, there was like remember SARS? That was like the big thing. Everybody was free, but
absolutely. So the swine flu, the bird flu, H1N1 was that one of them or something? I don't remember.
Yeah.
So
I kind of vaguely remember that.
Yeah, it's like, so there were so many things that were supposed to kill everybody, and it never happened, and we didn't have any vaccines.
Right.
They were like, the bird flu or the swine flu, it's coming from wherever. It's going to wipe out the majority of the population if we're not careful, right? Well, then it was like, for like 2 weeks, that's what you heard, and then nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And then like, no more swine flu.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's kind of one of those things where that's where I was at with the COVID-19 thing. I'm like, it's just another deal where, we can.
And that's sad because it's almost like the boy that cried wolf, it's like the, and all this time that it seems like it was a big deal that it wasn't. Then something like COVID comes along that actually is a big deal. And you got people that are like, oh,
Yeah, don't worry about it. It'll be going tomorrow. You know
Right.
what I mean?
Yeah.
But I was one of those guys. Honestly, I was seriously one of those guys. And maybe I was just misinformed or disinformed or didn't give a shit. I mean, I don't know what it was. It was just, but my wife was freaking out.
Yeah.
She was literally like, and I kind of joked with her for the first few months, like, man, so we were watching the news. And they were given the tolls of death, like in China, and then in this country, and then in this other country, and all this. And people are just like, wow, looked like ghost towns, and I don't know what they were showing. I don't know if it was a real town or I don't know. Who knows?
So hard to tell.
It's so hard to tell. So anyway, I'm like, I just don't buy it. I'm still not 100%. So, that it's a thing. Well. Then we get death tolls from New York, death tolls from, LA and wherever. And it's like, election year, and I just keep thinking of this stuff. And I'm like, it's the media. Here we go again with the media.
Yeah.
They can control a number and skew numbers to what they want to say.
Yeah.
Right. And they've been doing it for years. It's not something new. They do it all the time. We just don't catch most of it like this. It's never anything really terribly bad for the most part, so they don't have to skew them too well or too much.
Yeah.
But so here I am, and I'm just telling, I'm kind of making fun of my wife. I'm like, you're going to need therapy when this is all over, and then it was started kind of, you see little things like, she absolutely freaked out. She heard a number of people that would die every day. It was like 25,000 people in the state of Missouri would die every day. Starting in a week, Yeah. And I'm like, that's never going to happen.
Right.
That's really not going to happen. And it didn't. It didn't happen.
Right.
You know what I mean? They were like, we're up 1,300 deaths in the state of Missouri from COVID, right? And then people would be like, yeah, no. You'd hear doctors on the news, on the radio, and they're like, yeah, we've seen this, right? The number was rising in cases of potential COVID victims. And then you have one person is like, oh, no, they're lying. The number is twice as many is what they're saying. And then, oh, no, then the next news outlet you could find on the internet or on TV or whatever, well, then it was skewed the other way,
Yeah.
And it's like, whoa, who in the hell knows what's going on, really?
Right.
We're just trying to get facts, the real facts, which we may never get. Who knows?
No.
Who knows? Yeah. It could be as real as, millions of people are dying, and they don't want us to know that millions of people are dying. It's okay if tens of thousands of people have died, or you know what I mean? If that makes any sense, maybe that, so we don't freak out too bad, but then again, or maybe they should tell us the real numbers. So we could freak out and then, so anyway, so starting back in 2019,
yes,
for me, it just was kind of like, it is what it is, right? I'm going to live my life. You can't be scared. And here's the thing, even today, 2021, we're coming into October, in 21, we can't be scared to live.
Right.
Because that's no way to live. You're not living if you're living scared.
Right.
Right. So you can't be scared. You got to be smart. Continue to wash your hands and continue to be clean and continue to social distance when you can. Sometimes it's impossible.
Yes.
But, wear your mask when you need to wear a mask. And if you're outside and it's just a few people and you're outside, I don't see the point of wearing a mask. I don't do it. So I could be the guy. I'm the bad guy, right? Who cares?
You're a super spreader.
I'm a super spreader, But anyway, we'll get to that. We'll get to the super spreading in a second. So 2020, we get into 2020. Life is still going on. and we're still in this vague or weird place in the media world. You know, you got Dr. Fauci saying we're all going to die if we don't wear masks, or we're all going to do this if you don't do this, and whatever. We were in Hawaii in 2020. And, you know, it was like there was no such thing as COVID over there. You know, on the islands, it was just we did what we wanted to do, and there was no social distancing. There was nothing. You know, my son played in the Hula Bowl over there and in January of 2020. So we flew over, and it was great. Yeah. You had a great time and flew home and, you know, whatever. Then you know, February, March comes around, you know, now it's starting to really pick up. Now it's, 20,000 people died in New York today. Right. You know, the hospitals are completely overrun with patients that can't even be seen, and they're just dying in the hallways of the hospital because they don't have enough ventilators. They don't have enough, you know, proper PPE for the doctors and the nurses and things like that. Yeah. That's when, you know, we're like, oh, hey, okay. All right. And then they start shutting us down, right? That's when things started shutting down, and you know, you couldn't go to a grocery store. You know, they wanted you to pick up your groceries and things like that. So,
which I did that. It was awesome.
We did it. I didn't care for it because especially most things, it's okay.
I saved so much money by doing that.
Some things it's okay to have somebody else just go grab a box of cereal or milk or whatever. Yeah. But when it comes to fruit and veggies and things like that, I want to inspect them to make sure there's no bruises on an apple and when we were doing that, there was no they weren't truly inspecting things. They were just, they want apples. There's some apples. They want bananas. Here's some bananas. You know, you know, they want lettuce. Well, here's a head of lettuce. You know what I mean? It was kind of one of those things. That part of it I didn't care for too much, but everything else was fine. You know, it didn't bother me at all to go pick up my groceries, other than the fresh produce stuff, and the meat and things like that. It was like, I kind of. I don't want to look at it before you just throw it in a bag and tell me it's mine, you know. But all in all, it was fine. I didn't have any issues doing that, you know. Quarantining was a little, you know, that was tough for me. Doing the whole quarantine thing was pretty tough. You know, again, my wife was just an absolute Nazi. She was the quarantine Nazi. Like the soup Nazi. My wife was the quarantine Nazi. I mean, you know, she was like, you know, you don't leave the house. In parts of the house, like if you coughed, like if you choked on take a drink, you're like, oh, she's like, go upstairs. You gotta stay upstairs. You can't come down. You know, I'm
take off all your clothes and burn them.
Yeah. No, that's what it was. I mean, it wasn't. It was. I'm not lying. That's pretty close. It's pretty close to how
I'll tell you, my girlfriend Amanda's a nurse. And so I got to hear everything she was hearing at the hospital, and it was pretty rough. And I remember it actually going back to being a wrestling fan.
Right.
I remember whenever everything first started, everything shut it down. It was right at the beginning of April. Late March, early April, because it's like the week before WrestleMania, which is early April. Yeah, they shut everything down, and WrestleMania was done in an empty venue, which was weird to watch. But anyway, so that was it was all in that early time, and nobody knew for sure what was actually, you know, it's a lot of speculation,
and I think that to me is kind of the part that kind of is hard for me to buy into or what, because everybody was speculating. It was all speculation, you know. And I guess with a pandemic, if you want to call it that, I'm not even sure the numbers kind of warrant the pandemic thing, but we're gonna call it a pandemic. Okay. Again, people are, you know, if you listen to this, they're probably like, you're such a dumbass, you know, whatever, who cares? Whatever. I'm not real smart, but you know what I mean? So the pandemic that we're in, so many people were speculating, and I guess maybe that's how you have to do it.
Yeah.
A little bit, especially on the medical side. We're going to, if people don't quarantine and don't wear masks and don't do the things, maybe that is what happens. Maybe there will be 25,000 deaths every day. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That kind of thing. Or more, or so maybe they're just projecting these, hey, this number is what it is. You say, it's kind of funny. You said, thing about WrestleMania being, so back up to March of 2020.
Okay.
So March of 2020, Hayden was training for the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Had a great college career. His agent, had a great agent working for him, and, had all 32 teams come to see him play and talk with him and watch him practice and the whole bit. And like I said, he got to go to Hawaii and play in the Hula Bowl, and
which is awesome.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah.
It was a great opportunity. It was kind of funny because Hayden is a center, and his guard, I want to say his left guard and left guard and left tackle were both LSU players, and they just won a national championship that year, in 2020, and so he was getting to play with these guys, national champions, in this game. It was cool. It was really cool. You know what I mean? For him to do that. So then he flew to Pittsburgh, trained for his pro day.
Yeah.
Everything looked great. I mean, his numbers, honestly, his numbers were as good as anybody that was coming out that year as an offensive lineman.
Yeah.
And his 40 time was average, just average. That was the worst thing he did was his 40. But like his pro agility was in the top 5 people coming out. His L cone drill was in number 1 in the country coming out. Bench press was in the top 5%. I mean, he did it like 35 times or something like that, 225, 35 times. I mean, so he had all this stuff. He was, looking forward to this opportunity. Now, whether he made a football team or not, it was just the opportunity that he was about to be given,
right?
To go try. I mean, and that's all he wanted was that opportunity, right? To say, hey, you're not good enough, or hey, you are good enough. You can make a practice squad or whatever,
right?
So anyway, he trained his butt off. Man, he worked for like 8 weeks before his pro day, which was going to be March 18th. And so he flew home the week before. He flew home from Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
And was working with Will Shields here at 68 Inside Sports. And just working on little stuff, kind of working out with Will, and Will was showing him little stuff, to help his position and help him be a better player and everything.
Yeah.
It was great. I mean, Hayden couldn't have asked for a better, one of the best ever to put a football helmet on in an offensive line position. You get to work with him, on a daily basis. Pretty cool for Hayden. And anyway, so he's getting ready for his pro day and training there, and like the week before, it was on Monday. We talked to his agent on Monday before it was. I think his pro day was going to be on a Wednesday. I think if I probably look back and see the exact date. But anyway, let's say it was on Wednesday,
sure,
the 18th. And so the 5th or the 16th was like a Monday. Talked to the agent, and they're like, "Yeah, we're coming. We're going to be there. Obviously with you." All the teams are going to be there. Pretty excited, blah, blah, blah. Right. Making sure his weight was where they wanted it, making sure everything. And Hayden felt good about everything. And they felt good about everything. So anyway, on Tuesday, they shut his pro day down the day before.
Ugh.
And we kind of started seeing it and hearing it on TV, Alabama and all these big schools, they weren't having pro days either. So it was affecting not just the guys who maybe bubble guys, but guys who were played on the biggest platform in college.
Sure.
They weren't getting, some of those teams didn't get them either.
Yeah.
So anyway, it was, so that was kind of a bad time. 2020, the March, April, May, June, that, after the draft and everything, it was, kind of a, went from being a late round draft guy to a high priority free agent to a free agent to, man, we're just hoping somebody's going to call you, because they shut the NFL down, training camps, they shut them down. They weren't letting those guys go in and work out or anything with the team. They were doing everything at home. It's kind of weird. But it was a weird time for our country, and especially in that, and that's kind of where I thought, okay, there's a lot more to this than just a thing that's going to pass pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Again, the NFL didn't even know if they were going to have a season. College football completely changed.
Mm-hmm.
The music industry, overnight shutdown.
Yeah.
Billions of dollars. The music industry said, "Hey, we're out. We're gonna guys aren't touring. No one's touring. No one's working.
Yeah.
Everybody's quarantining. Everybody's doing the right thing. So it started. You started to see the trickle effect of this is a real thing that's bad. That's real bad. It's not just no, you're gonna have the flu. No, you're gonna die.
Yeah, right.
Kind of thing. You know what I mean? It went from being to oh my God.
Mm-hmm.
And I know it's, some people are like, well, why did it take you so long to get to that point? Well, for me, because again, it was speculation. Everything I was hearing, you would hear something completely different. You call it fake news, call it whatever you want.
Well, it's so hard. I mean, it's so easy, actually. It's so easy to spread misinformation.
Absolutely.
And, just Billy Bob over here that works at the gas station.
You and I can start our own YouTube or Twitter or whatever and make a fake feed.
Yeah.
And like we're like a real thing. Get a bulletin board behind us with the Channel 4 news and make this stuff, and they do it. People do it. It's sick, but they do it.
Yep. All you need is a suit and a green screen.
And people buy it.
Yeah.
That's the problem. People buy it.
Mm-hmm.
So 2020 was one of those years for me. I mean, I know, and for you too, we couldn't play music. We couldn't, we had kind of a little plan, coming out of 19, had some brand new music. We recorded some brand new stuff. Here comes 2020. I'm excited. We're putting a little team together. We're doing some stuff, and then all of a sudden it's done. It's shut down. No one's moving. No one's working. No one's doing anything.
Yep.
So I know it hurt so many artists, especially the baby acts. Some of the baby acts didn't make it.
Yeah.
They went back to working regular jobs and hoping that 2021 was going to be a better year. Really started out worse.
Yeah.
2021 started out like miserable, Then it started to get better, but, so 2020, like I said, we went from in January 2020 to flying to Hawaii and being good, and what I mean, like, hey, what's up? No big deal. To March, things just starting to. I mean,
it's like a sledgehammer right in the face.
Yeah, and it just stops. and you can't help but think of how many people were affected, in that in every. So think about, like, you worked in an office building.
Yeah.
I mean, you had people in the office.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Now
I've been working. I was working from home about a year before COVID hit.
Okay.
So,
all right. But you had people in an office there that worked in the office every day.
Yes.
Now they don't work there.
Nope.
They're working from home if they can.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yep. Yeah. Now, did you ever catch COVID?
No.
That you know of, anyway.
No. Kind of weird. I don't believe I ever did. Looking back, because then I started looking back like, okay, did I have a cold?
Mm-hmm.
I had a cold, but that's not COVID. I'm like, I had a little cold, not even a bad cold. It was just a little cold, like runny nose and stuffy. I was like, that was it. Over the counter medicine fixed it. It was done. So I'm like, I didn't get sick. I didn't have like a bronchitis or any kind of bronchial infection or anything like that. Had an ear infection.
There, you had it.
You know what I mean? Yeah, but nothing that I had was COVID. Anything about
never lost your sense of smell and all that junk.
Now Riley had COVID. My daughter, she had COVID.
Freaking Riley.
I know. She's the super spreader. She is the mothership of sickness. No.
Going around licking handrails. And
So Riley had it. She lost her sense of smell and taste for a few days.
Yeah.
But she said it wasn't terrible. She could still kind of taste.
Yeah.
But she's like, Dad, when you get a real bad cold and you can't breathe at all and you can like taste something, you're like, I kind of taste it.
Yeah.
That's what she had.
Yeah.
And she felt bad. She was tired, just kind of run down feeling. Like literally maybe 3 days. And then she was 100% fine.
Yeah. Well, I got it back was in 2020. It was like June, July-ish, somewhere around there.
Right.
And it didn't hit me as hard as it did most.
Right.
I was, where I think I got it, I went and played an overnight gig, out of town.
Right.
And that's where I think I got it. It was at some of these places. Did that Friday, Saturday, came home, felt fine.
Right.
It was about that Tuesday. I was running a fever and feeling really worn down.
Right.
I think I didn't really miss any work. I just took a long lunch break that Tuesday where I was feeling crappy. I took a long lunch break and like slept for an extra hour, whatever.
Yeah.
But, overall it kind of it kind of grazed me, I guess.
Right.
But at the same time, I still notice, it's been over a year later, I still notice some breathing difficulty, like especially when I'm running, because I'm getting back into running and stuff like that. And it's more labored than it used to be.
Right.
And it has been ever since then. So, it didn't hit me too hard, but at the same time, and I had that same the sense of smell and taste. But to me, it felt like, and I get bad sinus infections, every year.
I get it. Yep,
every year, super bad. And you get that weird, that sinusy taste and smell. That's what it was, but like really super strong. It wasn't like, oh, I can put this. I'll put
ammonia,
dog crap in my mouth and be like, oh, this must be broccoli.
Yeah,
yeah.
But yeah, so Ashley and I, we didn't get it. We didn't contract it. Riley did, but it like kind of grazed her too.
Yeah.
Just kind of like, I was there, I was kind of not. Our nephew got it.
Yeah.
Braden, he got it. Same thing with him. He just kind of felt like, I feel all right. It's okay.
Yeah.
And then he's gone. He's good. But they're 16 and 20. You know what I mean? So you're pretty young and whatever. So, I don't, and I know some people like you that had it, and they didn't have any bad. It was just my neighbor, our old neighbor down the street. He got it, John. He got it, and he's like, yeah, it just kind of sucks. It's like having a bad cold for like a week. He goes, but he went for about a month and a half or so, or maybe longer, without no sense of taste or smell.
Yeah, isn't that something?
So that's where it got him, was his taste of sense and or sense of smell and taste. So I don't, and I haven't asked him if it's back. I mean, I would imagine, but maybe not. I don't know.
And then on the other side of that, I have a cousin lives down in Arkansas. He got it, him and his family. His wife was like in the hospital for like a week or two. He was saying like, oh man, I lost like 20 pounds in the last week or something, and it's like, and he doesn't really, as far as I know, doesn't have any real like underlying health conditions or anything like that. It's just super weird, man. It hits random.
Everybody's different.
Yep,
everyone's different, and which kind of brings us into the end of 2020 or latter part of 2020, when we started seeing people that we knew that had it, that were in the hospital for weeks in comas.
Yeah.
Like they're fighting for their life.
Yeah.
And they have no health problems. Like they're pretty healthy, people, and they're dying in the hospital on a ventilator, and then all of a sudden, boop, they're done.
Yeah.
They get up, they're like, hey guys, thanks. See you next week.
My second win.
Yeah,
here we go.
Yeah, here we go. And they're fine.
Yeah.
Again, we don't know the underlying effects and how long it's going to take for them. And now you hear the the doctor saying, this could have lasting effects on your breathing and a bunch of different things.
Which, I mean, hey, yeah.
So, it was, again, my eyes were being more opened to, okay, there's a little more to it than we know.
Yeah.
And then even what they're saying on CNN and Fox and your local news and things like that. Still not the death toll that they thought it was going to be, which was good. It's great,
Yeah.
and then then it was the vaccine.
Oh,
so everything closes. We close down. We close shop. Everybody stops working at the office. And or maybe there was just a skeleton crew in an office, and everybody else went home and worked if they could. If they couldn't work, they were getting unemployment and all this stuff. Well, created a whole nother problem.
Yep,
a whole nother issue. Restaurants just basically had to close their doors.
Yeah,
then some of them were smart and said, "Hey, curbside pickup."
Yep.
You can still call in your order. We'll make it. We'll bring it out to you, and you're good. And so I think some of them were able to make it, just make it by with that and get by until they could start opening up.
Yeah.
It's a terrible time. It's a terrible time for everyone. No one that I know or that I heard of was having a good time with this issue, right? Again, like I said, the music industry, sports, baseball, football, look what basketball did.
Yeah.
They basically locked those dudes in a bubble and said, okay, this is where you're living. You can't go home.
Yeah.
You're stuck here. You can, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We're feeding you, we're clothing you, and then you get to go out into an empty arena and play basketball on TV.
Yep.
And then you come back and you don't get to go home. You know what I mean? It's like just to play a sport. They were doing that, but it was good. People needed it. America needed that to watch those guys do their thing because, that gave us a little bit of normalcy.
Needed something.
Then, of course, and then the whole time you're thinking, we had this election, whoever you voted for, who cares? Doesn't matter who you voted for, right?
Yeah.
I don't care. Doesn't matter. But now the world's upside down.
Yeah.
The United States isn't the United States anymore. It's like, what the hell's going on with our country? We've never been more divided. We've never, and on everything. It's like we're not America. We are not America right now.
The divided states of DSA.
The divided states of America. Yeah, no kidding, man.
The DSA.
Yeah, but and it's sad. In my 46 years, I've never seen anything like this. I've never seen people fight over the smallest things.
Yeah.
I've never seen more people be. I don't even know what the word is. Patronized, maybe for a belief or choosing to do something or not do something.
Yeah.
I've never seen more division in the red and blue states, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I've never seen more division or more angst in people.
Yeah.
Ever in my whole life, and I've talked to my folks about it, and they're like, "Oh, in the '60s, that was kind of bad."
Well, yeah,
you know what I mean. But the '70s, we had the gas shortage, we had some things. It was like, but it was okay. We got through it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. And it was like everything they were saying, it was like, "Oh, we got through it. We got through it. We got through it." Are we going to get through this? You know what I mean? Are we going to be able to pull out of this situation and say, "Hey, we came out on the other side better, or at least the same"? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's scary. To me, it's a scary time in our country. Like I said, the division of people.
Unless something happens to unite us again, dude, I don't.
It's weird, man. It's weird. I'm waiting for Texas just to go, "Hey guys, we're out." I'm not kidding.
I know.
I'm not kidding. It's like,
I know.
I'm waiting for Texas just to go, hey, who's with us? Because we're out.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of like that. And it's sad. That it's scary. It's sad. And at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
But, so coming into 2021, thinking, okay, we have all this stuff. Now we have all the proper PPE for everybody. We have all the ventilators we could ever need.
Right.
We have all this stuff. We have this vaccine.
Mm-hmm.
And they're pushing the vaccine, pushing every commercial, everything. Everything you see or read or hear is get vaccinated, get vaccinated,
Yep.
get vaccinated, get vaccinated. Well, people were getting vaccinated. And I understand, like, again, misinformation, false information, on the internet, probably the worst place to go to get any kind of information.
Oh my God.
Unless you go to YouTube to try to fix something. You know what I mean? Like, how do I fix my washer and dryer? You go to YouTube and it'll show you how to do it.
Yep.
That's basically what we need to keep YouTube for,
Right.
or a funny video of somebody falling and, hurting themselves.
Yep.
Keep it that. Stop with the political jargon and the BS that it's out there. Because, like I said, we can start our own YouTube channel about anything.
Mm-hmm.
And if enough people see it, they'll believe it.
Yeah.
And then you get the people anyway.
Well,
it is what it is.
It is. Yeah.
That's what it is for now. But so the vaccines, so now you have people. I'm not getting vaccinated. I'm getting it. I'm not.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you're stupid for getting it. Well, you're stupid for not. You know what I mean? It's like we're fighting about being vaccinated.
Yeah.
Well,
what's funny about that is I've been pretty open. Like, if people talk about it, be like, yeah, I got vaccinated. Back, I guess it was earlier this year, somewhere in the middle of this year. I got it. Got my 2, in the arm and everything. Can
you stick a quarter to your arm and it sticks?
Oh God, they're putting trackers in your arm. It's like, well, pick up your cell phone and be like, they already have trackers.
Yeah, everything. Here's this is the truth.
Yeah.
If they want to spy on us, everything that has a speaker is a microphone.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep. It's funny. We were just talking about that. Was it you the other day? I was talking about teleprompters.
Yeah, we were talking about because of missing
and
stuff.
all of a sudden, here a couple days ago, my social media feeds, I have like ads for like teleprompters.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what is this?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
They're listening.
Of course they are.
Yeah, they're listening.
But it's just funny. Whenever you tell somebody, it's like, yeah, I got the vaccination. The looks you get are either over here or over here.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's just like, I don't want to get it again, personally. So
my wife got vaccinated early because she has asthma, and her doctor was like, "Look, you need to get it because if you get this COVID, that's going to be real bad for you."
Yes.
So she said, "Okay, I'm fine. Give me the vaccine." So she got the vaccine, and I just told her, I said, "Listen, I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait for a while because I want to hear more detail about the vaccination. I want to hear more detail about the vaccine, so I feel better about getting it because I don't get the flu shot every year.
Oh,
I've never gotten one. My wife does every year, and I think she gets a pneumonia shot. I mean, she gets like, if they're gonna give it, she's gonna get it. I mean, she's like, give me every vaccination, you know what I mean? I don't even like. I don't like taking medication at all. I'll take Advil and Tylenol, and that's about it.
Yeah, I'm the same way.
I don't like taking stuff. I'm just that way. So anyway, I waited and I did my I did my own research that I could believe in, about the vaccine, which is terrible.
Which is
if you just look up the COVID vaccine, and then there's like a million different things on the internet about it. And you have this doctor, it's Dr. Stephen Kurvikowicz, or whatever. And then, he's like, the COVID vaccine will kill you.
Yeah,
it will make
crazy?
your babies have 3 heads.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then Dr. Susan Miller is like, COVID vaccine is the answer for everybody. We need it. If you don't get it, you're going to die if you get COVID. If you have it and get COVID, it will just be lesser. Get it. It's like the chickenpox vaccine. No one complains about getting the chickenpox vaccine.
No.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But and then you have another doctor, or a PhD, and then another guy, and they're sitting there together going, I worked at Pfizer, and I worked at Johnson & Johnson, and I worked at whatever, and we tested this on lab rats, and all the lab rats died. So we shouldn't put it in our bodies. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like, whatever. You know what I mean? I look at it like this, and I know this probably isn't the correct way to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Do I want to die? No. Not yet. I know I'm going to. Yeah. Eventually, we're all going to die, right? We can't live forever. I don't want to die today or tomorrow. I got a lot of things to do. I got a lot of things I want to do and get done. But I know eventually I'm going to die. But if I die because of COVID, that's how I'm supposed to die.
Yeah.
That's what I feel. That's how I feel about it. Yeah. And if I got the vaccination, which I've been vaccinated. So if I die because of the vaccine, well, I was supposed to die because of the vaccine.
Right.
You know what I mean? If I die in a plane crash, I'm supposed to die in a plane crash.
Right.
So that's how I feel. And that's how I look at stuff now. Maybe when I was younger, I probably didn't.
Yeah.
But now I kind of look at things that way.
Let's say, is it getting late?
It's 9:00. We can call somebody. Who you got in your phone?
Say, who do I got on my phone?
Yeah, who can we call?
I don't have any celebrities.
Well, we don't have to.
On my
telephone talks with Tate. All right. Let's shoot. What do we want to call it though? All right, AJ. Let's figure out something. How about we're just going to randomly go through our phone? Yeah. And we're going to call somebody in our phone book.
Oh man.
Randomly, and just say bang, and surprise, you're on a podcast.
Simon Kell.
Here we go.
Dial him up.
Here we go. Let me see. We're going to go. I'm just scrolling, and bam. Here we go. Drew Davis.
Calling old Drew.
Here we go. I don't know if he's going to answer.
Sorry.
Hey, are you there?
Yeah, what's going on?
Surprise, you're on a podcast, friend.
Oh, awesome.
Yes. So we can't say anything real bad. Well, I don't care what you say. It doesn't even matter. AJ and I are here. We're doing our podcast.
Can I say you guys are assholes? Do you have to bleep that out?
No, we won't bleep it out. We'll leave it in.
Okay. I can say asshole though, right?
Yeah, you can. Yeah, you can.
Yeah, I'm just making sure.
Okay. All right. Sure. Hey, this is a new.
I miss both of you.
Yeah, this is a segment. This is a brand new thing we're doing. We're just scrolling through our phones and hitting something, and Drew Davis came up, so you're on, man.
Okay, well, you're on.
Okay, this is gonna be great.
So this is the reason why I let you guys call me tonight.
This is the reason why you answered my phone call.
And I almost went to. I'm not answering that a-hole.
Oh, we have the sound for that. So if we call somebody and they don't answer, we get this. Go ahead, AJ, play it for them. Yeah.
Can we go for more of a like the old hee-haw? More like, because that's more of like what a mule sound would make.
Right. So anyway, man, we've started season 3 of the Sweet Life podcast, and this is just a new thing we're going to do.
Well, so you're the very. Guys how sweet my life is.
You can talk about how sweet your life is. That's fine. We don't care.
I'm walking my dogs right now, Watson and Dabo. Yes, Watson is named after Deshaun Watson, and Dabo is named after Dabo Sweeney.
Yeah.
Now, I do have to keep my dog out of massage parlors, but that's okay because I still love my dog. All right? No dog left behind.
That's right. No dog left behind. And, perfect.
Yes. Yeah, I'm super blessed. I'm walking an amazing night tonight. Got my doggies, and I'm talking to two of my old friends.
Yeah.
That I don't like, but they're my friends. So,
well, that's okay. That's all right.
Don't always have to like your friends.
That's right.
No, you don't. You have to love them, though.
Yeah, that's right.
Weird.
It's weird.
It's awkward.
It's kind of a
and
different
slow
thing.
Dance when they ask you. Is it weird to slow dance with your friends?
No. Okay. Not. No,
yeah.
It just depends.
Tell me what's going on, guys.
Well, nothing. We just started. This is season 3, episode number 1. Just a new little thing we're going to throw in this season 3. Kind of a surprise. You're on a podcast, so you're the first one. You are it. Episode 1, first surprise. You're on a podcast. Drew Davis.
Amazing.
Yeah, man.
Well,
it was good seeing you last weekend, and while we were down in Nashville, it was good. Spending time with you and Jen. It was fun. Had a good time.
Yeah, my wife really doesn't like you, but she loves Ashley. So, so her and I feel the same way about you.
Yeah, that's good. It's so good. That's kind of how it goes for my whole life. That's what everybody, once they meet me, they're like, yeah. Then they meet Ashley. They're like, oh, she's so nice. Yeah. Anyway,
you blame me for always getting you in trouble, and I blamed you for getting me in trouble.
Well, yeah, but it was No, see, here's the deal. I'll be honest. Listen, this is exactly how it went down. Every time I knew I was going to be in trouble, every single time, because he'd go, I have a plan. And when he said I have a plan, I knew, damn it, I'm in trouble. Every time. It was like clockwork. Every time. Every single time. It without fail. Yep. Hey, dude, don't worry about it. I got a plan. And I'm like,
I got a plan.
I'm in, God damn it, I'm in trouble. You know what I mean? So,
yep.
Yeah. Anyway, So, all right, man. Well, cool. This is, we're just trying this out. You're the first one. You are our
patient zero.
Our patient zero right here, man.
Well, that's awkward.
So,
hey, I want to tell you guys something real quick.
Yep. Go ahead.
I'm proud of you guys that you're playing music and that you're continuing to grow. And, you have a great message, and, fundamentally, spiritually, all the above. I think this is what America is missing right now. Make our communities better and to be more neighborly, more godly. Probably not call your friends a-holes, but
right.
Do it with, when you do it with love and compassion and be honest with people.
Right.
And those are the things I think, I've been afraid to stand up for stuff because I'm afraid of people coming after me. And I'm at that point now where I'm like, you know what? I don't have a plan. I'm following God's plan. I'm doing what I'm supposed to do.
Yeah.
And try to make everything in my community better and lifting people up around me. Because of the unfortunate COVID circumstance that we were under 2 years ago, I had been in development with this app company called Black Slate Media. And he had done a deal with a couple of my friends from Live Nation. Gil Cunningham, I've done tons of festivals when I, was playing in my own band and touring America. And, and Gil and Liz. And they're just amazing people. But they created a co-venture with Live Nation. And they're doing extremely well in what they're doing. And, Nashville and everyone in the music business, we all took a huge hit, man.
Right.
And here we've gamified music and live music festivals. And so it's really neat to see what we were doing. Literally, I did a deal, the biggest deal I'd ever done on a Friday. And by Monday, we had Luke Combs was a part of it. A lot of the bigs were a part of it.
Cool.
And by Monday, everything kind of dissipated. Yeah. And it was just like one of those, holy crap, when they shut everything down with COVID. So let me tell you a quick miraculous story. So we go from doing this to, I don't know if anybody's seen the TV show, the Navarro Cheer Show, featuring Monica Adalma, the number one coach in the world for cheerleading.
Yeah.
Not that I knew anything about this until I watched this show.
Right.
I watched this season, and in 3 days. Binge watched with my wife, who was a cheerleader slash dancer at Clemson University, and a competitive cheerleader. She was awesome, and so that's my extent of cheer. That's all I knew about.
Right.
And other than holding you up in cradles and doing all that stuff, in cheer poses, being your spotter for your dream.
Yeah,
but,
I know.
Here, dumb musician, songwriter, and, I know everything. I say everything. I know a lot about the music industry, working with Kiss and Darius and all those people.
Yeah.
Under Doc McGee, working with them for almost 15 years. And it was interesting to just go from something that I was totally comfortable in to watching God saying, nope, that's not the avenue you're going down right now, son. You're going in a different direction. Here you go. This is not your plan.
Right.
This is God's plan.
Right.
So world shuts down. Somehow we get involved with cheerleading, this Navarro cheer show. Here I am having a meeting today, and we have expanded now. And this has just been in the last 7.5 months. We've gamified, basically, don't tell anybody, but it's the new version that comes out October. It just got pushed back to November 1st. It's kind of the Madden of cheer. It's called Cheer Official. So I want to make sure everyone checks that out. Cheer Official.
Cheer Official. Okay.
Cheer Official. That's the app. And it's in cahoots with Monica Obama, the star, and all the star athletes. They all have avatars from Navarro. They are all in the gaming process. So it's kind of the Madden, as we like to call it. It's kind of the Madden, I say in quotes, of the cheer world.
Right.
And, we knew nothing. One of our partners, Randy Younger, is a guy that worked at NASA, who was a closet musician and had written some songs and stuff. And Doug DeAngelis, my other partner, who lives 2 doors down, his dog gets off the leash and ends up at my door one day. And we're having this conversation. He's like, I've got a music engine app that we're starting to do. And Doug's won Grammys as a mixer. He was the big remixer, worked with the Cars and did all the Madonna remix stuff, all the big TV shows.
Yeah.
He's done music for, he's one of the bigger music supervisors in the nation. He's just an amazing, amazing dude and a great, great friend. But because his dog gets off the leash, I'm in cheerleading now. What? So Randy, and he's a NASA engineer, gets into gaming, loves it. They create this remix engine, and because the world shut down, we're in cheerleading now. And I've got some of the greatest minds in music working on this with me, and it's just so exciting. And I'm going out to all these big sponsorships and trying to make stuff happen, big sponsors, I should say. And, we're putting this in now. Today, it came out, we have 411 live events that on average will have over 5,000 people in. And I don't know anybody that's doing that kind of business, so we're looking over a couple million athletes that we're going to have direct downloads to by November 1st. That's insane. So it's exciting to see that grow. And, just like out of nowhere. I won't tell you guys about my other business adventures because,
well, we'll save that for, we'll save that for another.
The audience.
Well, no. Listen, here's the thing about the Sweet Life podcast. We talk about anything and everything we want to talk about. It's basically, we came up with this idea of this is for lack of a better term, my sweet life. We talk about the things I do. We hunt, we fish, we play music, we love food, we love movies, whatever. We talk about everything. So there's nothing off limits on this podcast. we've had professional wrestlers on the podcast. We've had obviously artists on the podcast and stuff like that. So it's there's nothing off limits. We talk about everything and anything. So it doesn't matter.
Tate and AJ, I want to challenge you guys. Tater specifically, I want the two Belton boys to do a 3-song EP together. It's on my bucket list. I want my buddy Tater, who I grew up 1.5 miles away, not even. I grew up a 0.5 mile away from you. You're on Ranchero and I was on Mark Lane.
Yeah.
In Belton, Missouri. And, the fact that we have traveled the same distance from the same town, knowing, and the things that we've seen. It's pretty miraculous. I think the thing that we're missing right now, we need to do a record, something that says what we're feeling right now. Let's come together and do something fun. I'm going to challenge all your listeners to con you into that, because I can tell some stories about you that no one else can tell. And
well, yeah,
and you can tell some stories about me that aren't very good. So I appreciate that. So what I'm trying to tell you is I'm going to blackmail you.
Well, that's fine.
Okay. So all right.
That's fine. That's fine.
And it was so wonderful seeing you. And AJ, dude.
Yes,
are you
sir.
guys having any fun?
What's that?
Are you guys having any fun?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Good.
Yeah, man. It's
making a bunch of music.
It's good stuff, man. Like we just started. We took a little hiatus. Now we're back in the saddle, getting it going. Like I said, this is season 3, episode number 1. And we've been playing. AJ and I've been playing. We've done a couple shows this month. He's done a couple shows with his band, the Mudflat Mafia. It's been fun.
Well, come on, boys. Come to Nashville. Come hang out. Let's go. Let's make some music.
We definitely have to do that. So, well, dude, look, I appreciate you answering your phone, right? So you're the very first one. Surprised you're on a podcast. So,
well, thanks a lot for that. I'm just glad to hear AJ's voice. I miss him.
Yeah, man. It's been a while.
Not you, Tate.
Well,
I know, dude. I know. Well, let's get your guitars on some stuff. Let's go, dude. And your beautiful voice, man. Let's go. Let's play some music. I'm in the mood. Who's in the mood to play some music? Oh, hey, y'all. We only have one life. So live it. Look, if I were to go tomorrow, know that I love you all. I had a great time. High five. Dance on my grave. Actually, I don't want a grave. I'm going to actually create a treasure hunt with some dust bunnies in a jar. You guys are going to have to go spread on some places that I've been. Okay,
well, that's
but
good.
have a blast.
Yeah,
I want you to have a blast, and I'm going to actually have you blow the dust out of your hand so that you can blow me. Okay, into the ocean.
Into the ocean.
I've said into the ocean.
I said in the ocean, man. I was talking about the powder of dust that I left behind. Anyway.
All right, man. Well, cool.
Well,
we'll do it. Good chat. Good. Thanks like I said, thanks for answering the phone. And we'll talk to you soon, my friend.
Hey, thanks for not calling collect this time. Talk to you later.
Bye. All right, man. Well, this is the first one back. Season 3 started off. Man, it's only up from here, right?
Right.
Can't get much of more of a downer than this episode, but this is gonna be good. Plenty of stuff to talk about in season 3. We're gonna have some more guests.
Absolutely.
It's gonna be fun.
We're lining up some good ones.
That's good. That's perfect. That's what we want to hear. All right. Well, hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Make sure you subscribe to our podcast. Anywhere you can get podcasts, you can get this thing. Make sure you leave us a review. 5-star rating. 5 stars. Anyway, leave us a review and a 5-star rating. And leave us a message and say, hey, we want to hear you guys talk about this, or hey, what about this? Let us know. We'll do it. That's what we do.
Absolutely.
All right. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next time.
Ain't this a sweet life?
Hey guys, thanks for listening. Want to ask a question for a future episode? Well, hit us up on Facebook or Twitter with hashtag Sweet Life Podcast. And be sure to give us a 5-star rating and hit that subscribe button. Leave us a review on Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Stitcher, or wherever you get your podcasts. Make sure you follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter to stay up to date on the latest news and information for the Sweet Life Podcast. And we'll see you next time.